Hello, Culture Ultras, the Cultras pod now. We've changed our name. So yeah, I should remember that. Anyway, Euro 2024. I'm wearing a Swiss jacket, and we've got Christian Maffi, the Swiss Mafia himself. The, Lugano Ultra and the possessor of
Yes.
the only Vulture Authority, the football shirt outside of England. So there we go. How are
Proud
you,
to
mate?
be.
How are you doing?
I'm doing really well, and you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. So, yeah, what James usually does the intros, as you can tell, because I'm not very good at them. But yeah, basically, we've been doing previews of. We tried to get as many countries. We tried to do all 24. Then we realised we don't know anyone from Albania. So we've got we've got a few. So Switzerland is one of the chosen few countries we're doing for Euros previews for this. So. Um, Now, there's a lot of obviously Switzerland always qualify for major tournaments. They always do well. Um, like 2006, of course, the only time a team's been in a tournament and not conceded a goal, including the winners. So, yeah, but
Yeah.
knocked out by Ukraine on penalties painfully. But Switzerland have always tend to have like good defences. Sort of very stereotypically Swiss, efficient. Yeah. But how do you foresee the tournament going for Switzerland, mate? What's your hopes and dreams?
Well, the hopes and dreams are hopefully to win it, but it's gonna be
Well,
hard. That's basically impossible for Switzerland, but maybe cause another upset like the last Euros against France, and we almost did it against Spain.
mhm.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be harder than the last time because after the change of manager, things aren't going so smoothly for Switzerland.
Mhm.
And a lot of people hate the new manager, and the team's been playing really terribly now. And
Mhm.
also, we don't have
What?
a striker now. So,
Oh yeah, yeah. And Shaqiri's playing for Chicago Fire, which never goes well when players go to the MLS. Like Tranquillo Barnetta, one of the
mhm,
greatest names of all time.
yeah.
So it was because obviously for years and years it was Hitzfeld, wasn't it, in the glory days.
Mhm.
Who's the manager now, mate? I'm not too sure.
The manager now is Murat Yakin. He
Oh yeah, of
hasn't
course.
really got a great pedigree as a manager. He used to play for the Swiss national team, but he managed just in the Swiss second division as a coach before getting the Switzerland job. So,
Mm. It's like a Vincent Company type switch, isn't it, from a shit team? So shit
yeah,
job. So
basically.
good. Because
Basically, but instead of managing Burnley, he was managing Schaffhausen. So,
but yeah, arguably, Schaffhausen a much nicer place than Burnley, though. So there is
yeah,
that. But mm, the so the obviously we've got no. There's no striker now. So. Well, obviously, in the times past, there was Seferovic, and my one of the first players I ever fell in love with, Alexander Fry.
oh,
Yeah, who
yeah.
did,
Mhm.
of course, the one of the people do songs for the Euros and stuff. No one's ever beaten Alex Fry's rapping the national anthem, which is great. Um, uh, so. Where do you think the strongest parts of the Swiss team are? Obviously, like classically, defence is like the way
Yeah,
Switzerland play, but
yeah. I mean, the defense for Switzerland has always been the greatest strength.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, you got some big names, especially this year with Akanji playing for Manchester City and
Oh,
Fabian Schär still in the Premier League with Newcastle. And of course, in the last Euros, there was Mbabu playing, I believe, for Wolfsburg, but now he's kind of lost himself in his career. I don't know where he is, but
it
yeah,
happens. It
last
happens
season
to
he
all
was
of them.
playing for Servette, but I don't
Oh
know
yeah,
now.
yeah.
But
Because
yeah, the midfield and the defense
there's not a lot of
always.
players come from the domestic league anymore, is there? Unless they like under 23 or something.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think the most of the players that come from the Swiss league that play in the Swiss national teams are for Lugano, from Lugano.
Lugano,
And
the
I mean, you've
greatest
got
team.
there are, I believe, three players right now that are training with the national team from
Hmm.
Lugano. and a lot of I believe 5 players that play in the Swiss league have just been basically kicked out of the camp. So
Oh, right. Well, so who are those players that play for Lugano? Because obviously a lot of people won't know Lugano, whereas we do because you've indoctrinated me into Lugano. So and yeah, I thought I follow Lugano on SofaScore, so I get the little updates. Lugano seem to win every week by my, but obviously you'll feel differently. Uh, so yeah, who are those players? Because obviously not a lot of people will know them outside of Switzerland, mate. So maybe these are good tips for
yeah,
future.
I mean a player that probably many people know is Renato Steffen, of course, because he used to
Oh,
play in the Bundesliga. He was a big name for Wolfsburg, and he is
mhm.
now playing for Lugano. And there's also a player that I've seen online, some people saying that he could go to the Bundesliga or something, which is Uram Bislimi, which is currently playing for Lugano.
Mhm.
And there's also a defender called Albian Aidari. He is a regular in the under 21s, but it's his first call up for the main national team. So maybe he will get kicked out, but
But
he's still there now. So
we're still there now. That's all. Well, yeah, because we're ahead of time, aren't we? So we don't know like the final
Mhm.
squads yet. But um, like Switzerland have always seemed to obviously I think quarterfinals of almost every competition Switzerland seem to get to usually. Uh, like because like was 06 World Cup, it was round of 16, or was it the quarterfinals?
It's usually the round of 16 because we
Yeah,
always get
right.
kicked out there. The only exception, I believe, was the last Euros where we
Oh
got
yeah.
kicked out in the quarterfinals for Spain.
Although the guy who the famous guy with the that time
Yeah.
then 2 minutes later, like that's one of the best of recent times, like
Mhm.
classic, like for within the space of a minute and a half goes from that
Yeah.
to the you know 90th minute winner
Incredible.
against France from three. It was 3-0 down, wasn't it? Yeah,
It was 3-1 because
3-1.
Switzerland went up 1-0 and then conceded three in a row.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah,
Yeah, I remember
that
that day. And that's why I hope
was.
for something like this another time. I remember celebrating in the streets of the city and everything. It's incredible.
Oh, again, hopefully. Oh, so there's
Yeah.
Switzerland's group. There's Germany, obviously, which is it's actually a contender really for the hardest
Yeah.
group when you because Hungary are unbeaten in like 3 years, uh,
Yeah.
and then Scotland. Scotland could either be totally shit or quite good. So it's
Yeah.
I'll just see each game going like because the first game's against Hungary, isn't it? I think.
Yeah. It's weird because Switzerland, it's almost like Scotland, as you said. It could be shit or it could be good. But yeah, I mean, it could be that we got thrashed by Hungary and then win 1-0 against Germany. You really never
Yeah.
know with Switzerland, especially against a stronger opposition. Like when we close down on the defense and just defend for the whole 90 minutes,
Mhm.
something could come out of it. I remember at the World Cup against Brazil, just defending for 90 minutes and then concede an unlucky goal all
Yeah.
towards the end.
Yeah, I remember.
But
I was disappointed as well that Switzerland wasn't in Serbia's group like last time because it's the angriest fixture in world football. Just because of all that, obviously, seems like a lot of Kosovan players, immigrants play for Switzerland,
mm,
and then like
yeah,
because in the last game against Serbia Switzerland at the last World Cup, I think it was 20 out of 22 players were booked, which is like, come
yeah,
on.
I always hope that they're gonna ban the fixtures against Serbia because it's always like this. And obviously, a lot of Serbians also live in Switzerland, so it's basically a civil war when they play against each other.
Oh, not good, but funny. But not from funny from afar. But yeah, not to be in amongst it. But yeah. So like obviously we've got so if you said there's obviously Switzerland bring up like a lot of young players as well. Like always, I like should they like took Shaqiri to the was it 2010 World Cup? I remember the first time he was there. Again, like I saw him play for Honduras with Alex Frau. Um, uh, yeah,
That match
and then
against
yeah,
Honduras.
I remember watching that game because I'd fallen in love with Alex Fry, and then just
Mhm.
like so confident, like, oh well, this is good. Switzerland are going to win this, and then 0-0 against Honduras, which is not the best. Already
Yeah.
out Honduras, not good. Um, so, but as I was saying, mate, sorry. The most so they always Switzerland always bring through young players. So who's like your biggest hope at the moment for the future for Swiss football? Would you say?
Uh, well, at the moment, there's a few players that I could say. One, I think it's Ngoi. His name is. I always forget, but he's been playing really well for Bologna this year. Of course, they qualified for
Mhm.
the Champions League and everything,
Yeah.
which is great. We have a lot of players in Bologna that are playing great this season, so it's good.
Mhm.
And also, there's a young player in midfield called Arden Jashari. He played
Yeah.
for Lucerne until this season, and he's just now got a move to Club Brugge. So I think he
Ah,
could do well and shine in this Euros.
yeah. Because he was at the World Cup, wasn't he? He was on the bench. I remember seeing him.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So obviously, there's a lot of, and I'd be remiss of the cult heroes of Switzerland. Switzerland have produced a lot of cult heroes in the past, like Valon Barami. You know, what a player. Um, Valon Barami, Shaqiri, Xhaka.
yeah.
Just trying to
And
think
Jan
of.
Sommer.
There's Jan Zubabula as well. What a player he was. There's another thing as well. So it seems to be always Switzerland have always had very good goalkeepers, because they had
Yeah,
Zubabula and then straight on to who was it, Berkey, and then
Berkey. Yeah,
yeah, and then
yeah. Now there's Sommer, there's Kobo, Vogo is the third goalkeeper, but it's really
oh
solid.
yeah. So I think because Jan Sommer's at Inter now, isn't he? So he's just won Serie
Yeah,
A. So yeah, he seems to have bounced around a lot of clubs, Jan Sommer, doesn't he? Like because he
yeah.
was
In the last
rumoured of
two
him
years,
going.
yeah.
Rumours of him going to United at one point, but luckily he saved his career and didn't. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So what you said about the lack of a striker, mate. What's gone on there? What's the situation?
Uh, I mean, nobody really knows. There's no strikers coming out of Switzerland right now. I mean, we used to have Seferovic, obviously, but he retired from the international competitions now.
Hmm.
Uh, Embolo should be there, but he he was injured. Then he got healthy, played 2 games for Monaco, and then got injured again. So he is probably not gonna play for the in the Euros.
Fair enough.
Uh, and there's no one else really. There was Gavranovic who scored that last minute goal against France, but he retired as well. He's playing in the like fourth division here in Switzerland now. So
Oh, really? That's
yeah,
yeah, it's really very sad, really, when because it's a sign of getting older. Because I remember Gavranovic playing in like the 2010 World Cup when I was
yeah,
12 or whatever. And I remember Shaqiri, and I was like, yeah, and now they're all retiring, and I'm getting older. Oh no, it's getting worse. Oh no, but yeah, so like what? There's Dermich as well. He must be getting near
yeah.
retirement age unless he's
I
on the
think he
bench.
already retired. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, just depressing, mate. Depressing. um, so who's the main option then? Who are we having to stick up front as there's no Embola? No Embola.
Uh, I don't even think the manager knows, to be honest.
Oh
At the
dear.
moment, I have no idea. I think we're just gonna have to hope that Embolos is gonna be well again on time for the Euros. He's in the
Just pick.
squad. He's in the I mean, what is it now? 32-man squad ahead of the
Mm,
Euros. But
yeah.
who knows, really?
Yeah. Wow. Oh, like because the Yakin brothers as well. It was Hakan was the better one, wasn't he? I remember that. Yeah. Hakan was the
Yeah.
better one. Yeah, he was. Yeah, and he's a better manager as well, isn't he?
I mean, it
is,
doesn't
is,
take much.
Yeah, well, was he at Fenerbahce or something like or Galatasaray or one of them?
Absolutely
I think.
no idea.
Don't know. I may have just made that up. I'm not sure. But yeah. So right. we get to as we go through the games, right? So we play Hungary. What's your prediction there? Switzerland, Hungary, first game. What are we saying?
I'm
I could
saying
force you to make a guess.
2-0 Switzerland.
2-0
I have
Switzerland.
hope.
Cool. Come on, so it's fine if it's hopeful. It's fine if it's hopeful. Don't worry. Is the second game against Germany or Scotland? Because that's like quite crucial, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the second is against Scotland. Yeah,
Yeah, because obviously if you win them two games and it's fine, isn't it? So,
yeah. Then it's over. You
but
don't have to play Germany as a decider. It's perfect.
it put me up front against Germany. It'd be fine. Yeah.
You
So
can
yeah,
play against
Scotland.
Scotland if you want.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be at the match, so you can play there and we can get a pint afterwards.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Well, I'll need it if you have to make me run around for 90 minutes. I'll definitely need that. So. But yeah. So Scotland. I think we're disparaging Scotland here. So I might get some hatred for this, but I think even I would say it's a badly managed Switzerland would batter Scotland. But what do you think?
I think I agree. It depends on how Scott McTominay is doing, of course, but
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So if he decides to wake up that particular day, yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
yeah, and then obviously Germany, and this is the thing as well with the new Euros, isn't it? You've only got to finish third, sort
Yeah,
of, to get through. So a draw and a win would do it, wouldn't it? So
yeah,
even
basically.
because I think Hungary are really like dark horses for the cup, but I think
Hmm.
anybody in that group, I think Scotland's the most unlikely, but anybody in that group could do really well, really. So
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
yeah, yeah. So anything else you're looking forward to in the Euros, mate? Obviously, you said you were going. Are you going to go to any of the games? Because it's not too far from you. Is it just a train?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna go to Switzerland against Scotland, which is in Cologne, so I'm gonna just take a plane to go there.
Oh,
But
nice. Oh, fair enough.
yeah, looking forward to hopefully everything goes well and yeah, just having some fun in Germany with a lot of beer.
No. That's all you can. That's all you can hope for, and that's all a man can ask for in the Euros, really.
Yeah,
Um, but well, thank you
especially
very
with the
much for
Scottish lads.
oh yeah, well yeah. So that should be fun. That will be fun. Yeah, but well, thank you very much, mate, for coming on. Where can people find you on the internet if you want them to find you? That is, of course.
I mean, they can find me on Instagram if they really want.
There you go.
The handle is at create.14 underscore
There you
CHRY.14 underscore. And yeah,
go.
that's the only social network I have.
So yeah, you're far too normal of a man to be on here. You've only got one social media. Your brain works. You're not mentally ill enough to be on it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's yeah, always. I wish I was less mentally ill so I could get off all social media, but I can't. So if you want to follow us, you can at the Cultras Pod everywhere. Yeah, sort that out. But yeah, that's the Swiss preview. There we go. And Christian, I'll press you for this, right? Who's winning? We'll do a sum up. Who's winning the tournament other than Switzerland? If in the final against Switzerland, who's playing?
England, it's coming home.
England. Oof, oof, oof. Bold prediction. Um, okay, and yeah, that'll do. That'll do us, mate. Thank you very much for coming on. You can follow us
Thank
as
you
I
for
told you.
inviting me.
No. Anytime we'll do. Christian will be back before the start of the Swiss Super League season, and we'll talk Lugano because he'll
Yeah,
be coming
absolutely.
back. Thank you. Well, thank you very much, mate. And yeah, follow us on all that, subscribe, all that shit that people tell you to do on YouTube. Yeah, right. See you later. Bye bye. And I'll just stop it there, mate.